Rodolfo Marquez, also known as Fofo, is a controversial Mexican influencer who has millions of followers across his social media. Born on the 15th of July 1997, Fofo was undoubtedly born into a wealthy family. There's not much information on his family background. Still, from what we know, his grandfather made shoes for high-profile dignitaries in Mexico, while his father was one of the owners of a Total gas station before he passed away. Now, it's obvious Fofo comes from a wealthy background, as his social media personality basically revolves around him posing in the most luxurious cars, going to clubs with his friends, and living that Mexican dream. It was also through sharing his luxurious lifestyle on social media that he garnered more than 3 million followers, making him what Gen Zs call an influencer.
However, Fofo's fame on IG wasn't enough. He decided to navigate his way to TikTok, where he established a fan base but also began getting himself in trouble. A lot of people had eyes on him and of course wanted to bring him down. Well, Fofo didn't care. He had a huge ego. It felt like he was unstoppable. But all that ego was crushed down to the ground the moment he messed with one of Mexico's deadliest cartels, the new Jalisco Generation Cartel, CJNG.
I'd be doing you a huge injustice if I didn't tell you about the severity of this crime syndicate and its ruthless methods. Once you're aware of their operations, you'll understand why anyone, even someone as seemingly insignificant as a TikToker, would face serious danger by crossing paths with them. In fact, a number of TikTokers featured in this video have, unfortunately, encountered this very same criminal group. The Mexican authorities initially underestimated these guys as a minor faction within a larger cartel. However, the CJNG swiftly demonstrated its menace by executing 35 members of rival cartels and discarding their bodies in various vehicles along the Mexican highway. The cartel's leader, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, has gained a notorious reputation of being the devil in human form. Born on July 17, 1966, El Mencho emerged from a farming family as one of 6 siblings. Despite this background, he diverged early, seeking a more ambitious and nefarious path to success, one marked by the stain of cocaine and the blood of Mexicans. El Mencho's criminal journey began at 14, performing menial tasks for larger cartels, and then in the US, where he continued his criminal pursuits. However, he was deported to Mexico after a Texas-based gang-related sentence. Upon his return, El Mencho joined the Millennial Cartel as an assassin. However, the cartel's subsequent fragmentation led him to ally with the Sinaloa cartel subgroup under Ignacio Nacho Coronel. Here, he managed drug operations, finances, and violence in the Mexican states of Colima and Jalisco. After a few more years, he took charge of half the group, renaming it the Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generation, or the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. With El Mencho at the helm, the CJNG evolved into one of the globe's most violent criminal entities, donning military-grade equipment that could be mistaken for official Mexican military units. These guys are bad, they're cruel, and they're not to be messed with. So what exactly did Fofo do to piss off this extremely powerful and corrupt organization? Just like almost every TikToker out there, subjected to posting daily videos to keep their followers entertained, Fofo was doing the same. But this time, he decided to do something not many have kind of done in Mexico. On July 7th, 2022, Fofo took 3 luxury cars and parked them right in the middle of the Matute-Remus Bridge in Guadalajara, Mexico. He came down from one of the cars and began filming the traffic that was building up right behind him. He said things like, "We've closed the fort ourselves. This is what I want to demonstrate, what money and power can do. Literally, I closed it here because I wanted to Illuminati." He went on to brag about how he had shut down the bridge for several minutes and how all the other cars were honking. He even contemplated doing a few TikTok dances while innocent people were denied access through that bridge. Fofo posted that on TikTok, and it didn't take long for that video to go viral. A lot of people online shared their disgust at Fofo, raining insults on him for his nonchalance and stupidity. One Twitter user even called him a headless imbecile. The mayor of Guadalajara also threatened to press charges against him, with TikTok officially banning his account while they took down that video in less than 48 hours. Fofo couldn't access his account anymore and resorted to other platforms to tender his apology. He apologized for his childish behavior and asked for forgiveness from the people affected. The mayor accepted Fofo's apology but stated that he needed to complete several hours of community service cleaning beneath that same bridge. Left with no option, Fofo agreed to do as he was asked, but it was at this moment that the CJNG decided to punish Fofo for his actions. Just when the smoke for a stupid video had gone down, the CJNG reignited the entire case with a message sent to Fofo Marquez. The message went viral on social media, and it was from an anonymous account named Gente con la CJNG, which translates to people with the new generation. The message was also written in Spanish, but it roughly translates to this: hello to all the people of Guadalajara. We are the Jalisco New Generation Cartel. As you might know, the influencer or scumbag Fofo Marquez dared to obstruct the flow of traffic on the Machu-Remus Bridge, which is an act that we don't tolerate. We will not allow this animal to get away with this. We are in charge of Jalisco and all of Mexico. We will not allow you to come to Guadalajara and do this type of thing. If you ever step in Guadalajara, neither you nor your money would save you from us. Now, seeing how well Mencho and the CJNG as a whole are driven by intense violence, it could have been anyone who wrote that message to Fofo. Members of the CJNG believe that El Mencho should be feared and worshipped by Mexicans. So Fofo pulling such a stunt in a town under the direct control of El Mencho himself was an insult to El Mencho and his authority. Fofo's undoubtedly wealthy, but where his wealth stops is where that of the CJNG begins. These guys rake in billions of dollars annually and control a significant portion of the Mexican government. Their message terrified Fofo because he knew that no one could protect him if the CJNG decided to actually kill him. Once the message circulated, things got real. The CJNG doesn't make jokes, and Fofo knew this. He tendered an apology to them online and immediately ran back to his parents' mansion in Mexico to seek refuge. But being in that mansion wouldn't change anything. The family then hired armed security men to guard the house 24/7. But even with this, Fofo wasn't safe. The CJNG had taken down the deadliest cartel hitman squads and even battalions of the Mexican army in the past, so no amount of security could hold them down. Fofo was scared. He couldn't leave the house for days, stayed away from windows to avoid sniper attacks, and even carried a transceiver around so he could communicate if he was ever in danger. After a few months, Fofo finally returned to his life, but his actions against the authority of the CJNG altered the course of his life till today.